Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss two problems which was asked in Code Beta contest. Problem 1. The problem title is consecutive prime sum. Read the problem statement. Some prime numbers can be expressed as a sum of other consecutive prime numbers. For example, 5 can be expressed as 2 plus 3, 17 can be expressed as 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, 41 can be expressed as 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 11 plus 13. Your task is to find how many prime numbers which satisfy this property are present in the range 3 to n, subject to a constraint that summation should always start with number 2. Write code to find out the number of prime numbers that satisfy the above mentioned property in a given range. The input should be a single integer. The output would be a total number of all such prime numbers which are less than or equal to n. Here they are given constraint which is ranging from 2 to large number. For example, if user gives 20 means the output should be 2 because there are two numbers which satisfy the property. For example, 5 and 17 satisfy the property. 5 can be expressed as consecutive prime number 2 plus 3. 17 can be expressed as consecutive prime number 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. Okay. For example 2, only 15. For input 15, the output would be 1. We have only one element called 5, okay, which can be expressed as 2 plus 3. So output will be 1. Okay. I think you got an idea how to calculate consecutive numbers. For example, when user gives 10 means we need to start from 3 and up to 10. Then check whether you're having consecutive prime numbers or not. It is we need to find a number which can be represented as a consecutive summation of consecutive prime numbers. Okay. For 10, we have only one option, that is 5. It can be expressed as 2 plus 3. Okay. For 20, we have 2. Okay. This problem can be solved by checking whether the prime number and the given number is prime or not. Okay. That we have to check from 2 to n. Here I have encoded the header files, yesterday header and mathematics. Here I have used one function to named is prime, which accepts one argument, which is used to check whether the given number is prime number or not. I have used a square root algorithm for checking the particular number is prime or not. We need to iterate from 2 to square root of n. First approach start from 2 to n. Here I have used a efficient approach for checking the given number is prime or not. We can iterate from 2 to square root of number itself. For example, I check 6 is prime number or not. Consider start from 2 and 6 is divided by 2 and get for the remainder. Surely you will get 0. So condition is satisfied and the flag will be set as 1. Immediately give break. Here loop and this condition got failed. That is break statement. Now you have applied break statement now. So loop will be terminated. Now flag is 1 now. Goes to else condition and it returns 0. So 6 is not a prime number. I check for 7. I pass the value 7 starting from 2. 7 is divided by 2, getting the remainder. It's not equal to 0, so condition failed. And square root of 7 is approximately 3. less than 3 only actually. So it will not enter into next condition. So automatically it will return the value 1. This if condition will never gets true. So it will go to if condition and says 1. So 7 is a prime number. Okay. For a number 9, the loop executes only 2 times. Because square root of 9 is 3, no? For I equal to 2 it will work, for I equal to 3 it will work. For I equal to 2 and 3, check for the condition. This if condition never works. So it goes to if condition only. So for 9 also we get value 1. So in this way we can use square root algorithm to check the given number is prime or not. Okay. For identifying the number of consecutive prime sum, we need to get a input from the user and we need to use 2 loops for accumulating the consecutive prime numbers. Okay. For example, when I give 10 means it start from 2 and ending with 10. Up to 10 it will execute. In inner loop, we are checking for the number, whether the number is prime number or not. Okay. If it is a prime number, this condition never works and that number is stored in the array. In a similar way, we are getting the other prime number, next prime number by using this loop. So the prime numbers, set of prime numbers are accumulated in the array A. Okay. Initially k will be 0. Whenever you add prime numbers in the prime array, the k will be incremented. So you are storing the set of prime numbers in the array in this loop. Okay. Next, from 0 to k, we are checking the consecutive prime number. For example, consider you have 10 means it will find the sum of the prime numbers up to 10. 2, 3, it will check for the condition. First start from 0. Okay. A of 0th position you have to know. Now it is summed with the sum value variable and check is prime. Number is prime means just store the value, return the value in the C and check condition. Number is a prime, it will increment the counter by 1. In a similar way, it will find the number of consecutive sum. Okay. Next problem, bank compare. Read the problem statement. There are two banks, Bank A and Bank B. Their interest rates vary. You have received offers from both the banks in terms of annual rate of interest, tenure, and variations of the rate of interest over the entire tenure. You have to choose the offer which cost you least interest and reject the other. Do the computation and make a wise choice. The loan repayment happens at a monthly frequency and equated monthly installment. is calculated, that is EMI is calculated using the formula. EMI equal to loan amount star monthly interest rate divided by 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus monthly interest rate power number of years into 12. So they told how to calculate EMI. Okay, here the input constraints. The principal is ranging from 1 to 10 lakh, I think so. Number of test cases is 50. Number of there is total tenure. Tenure is 1 to 50. And the N1 is ranging from 1 to 30, and the N2 is ranging from 1 to 30. So N1 is the number of slabs of interest rates for a given period by bank A, and the N2 is the number of slabs of interest rate for a given period by bank B. First line contains principal amount, and second line contains the total tenure. Third line contains N1, which is the number of slabs of interest rate for a given period by bank A. First slab start from the first year, and the second slab start from the end of the first slab, and so on. The next N1 line will contain the interest rate followed their period. Two input for given for every line. After N1 lines, we will receive N2, that is number of slabs for interest for a given period by bank B. The next N2 lines are the number of slabs of interest rate for a given period by bank B. First slab start from the first year, and the second slab start from the end of the first slab, and so on. The period and rate will be delimited by a single white space. See here the input format. First one is principal amount and the total tenures. Then we are given N1. N1 is 3, so 3 lines will be coming here. First one is interest rate. Second one is first one is period, and second one is interest rate. Okay. This way we have 3 lines. Next we have N2 equal to 3, so we get 3 lines. Years and interest rate will be inputted for every line. The output will be bank B, because bank B offers less interest rate when compared to bank A. So I will tell how to calculate by using the formula, this formula. Okay. Just have a header file and include math.h file, because we make use of mathematical function called square root. Have a declaration principal amount for principal amount. Then for storing the sum, EMI, bank name, and interest rate, square root values, etc. First get principal amount from the user by using scanf statement, and data total tenures by using scanf statement. Get two bank details. Suppose use loop k equal to 0, k less than 2, k plus plus, and get the N1 value. First bank detail by using the loop. Set sum equal to 0, starting from 0 to n. You have to get N1 number of values, years and interest rate. Calculate this denominator values. There is 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus monthly interest rate for number of years 12. So this component separately calculated by using this. Square root is s square equal to power of 1 plus s comma s star 2. This is x power y formula. You have to use x power y formula. Okay. Formula is given here. formula is given. 1 plus interest rate, monthly interest rate power number of years into 12. 1 plus yes, yes star 12. After calculating this value, calculate the EMI by using the formula P star S. S is given by the user. Second input. Then 1 minus 1 divided by square. Just calculate the EMI. Then you have to add to the sum variable. Again, you have to get a year value and interest rate value and calculate the same EMI. Then accumulate the EMI. Okay. Finally, that first bank, that is first bank EMI value, that is sum of the EMI value stored in the bank of 0. In the next iteration, get N2 value, same calculation. Yeah, just get N2 numbers of years and interest rate, calculate the EMI value and get the sum and compare with the bank 0 value and bank 1 value. We have two bank now. If bank 0 value is less than bank 1 value means just print bank A, otherwise print bank B. Here for N1 or N1 number of input, how it will be calculated? I just unroll these things. First consider principal amount of 10,000 and y equal to 20 and n equal to 3. In pass 1, first iteration for bank A, years equal to 5. User is giving years equal to 5. Previous input I guess mentioned years equal to 5, 9.5, 10, 9.6, 5, 8.5. Is equal to 5, s equal to 9.5. So SQ can be calculated by using formula SQ equal to power of, that is 9.5 plus 1, 10.5 power 5 star 12. So after calculating a square, we need to calculate EMI by using the principal amount interest rate divided by 1 minus 1 divided by square. Then this EMI value is ordered with the sum value. Sum initially is 0. See here, sum is initially 0. Next in fast 2, we need to have a variable, that is ES equal to 10 and S equal to 9.6. Same calculation for interest rate 9.6 and ES equal to 10. We are calculating square value and calculating EMI value and added with the sum variable. In pass 3, we are doing same calculation and order of the sum value. This sum value is stored in the bank of 0. Then next input for bank B, we need to get the input. N2 number of input in terms of years and interest rate. Then calculate EMI and order with the sum variable. Finally, you will get bank to sum. Then compare. Accordingly, you can print the output. In this way, we can implement this problem. Very easy. We will discuss some more problems in the future. Thank you.